All right. Well, welcome to the live stream. This is something I've been looking forward to doing all day. I been very excited about this. This is probably it's probably my fifth or sixth live stream. And so today we're going to talk about something that's very important to me, and that is what tech works best for YouTube. A lot of people really they want to get started in YouTube, but they don't. They think, well, you have to have an expensive camera, or you have to have a nice computer, you have to have the lighting set up, and all that is true. But really, you first just need to, if you have a smartphone, that works just as good well. And honestly, when it comes down to it, one thing that I've noticed is that since I have my smartphone, I'm more apt to create content instead of, pulling out my camera, pulling out all that kind of stuff and setting it up. I'm able to go take this with me on the go, and I'm able to create short form content or long form content. And so I really just wanted to talk about what tech works best for photography, for YouTube, just for online creation. I just was talking with someone the other. I was actually just talking with people a few weeks ago about this. This is something that a lot of people, they are very nervous about getting into because they have a nerve. They have their nerves kick in. They really get nervous about being on camera. And I remember the first time I got on camera, I was nervous, but at the same time, it was a stepping stone to something greater. And so, honestly, when it comes down to it, when it comes down to the tech you need is that number one, you need some kind of way to access the internet. That's just a foregone conclusion. Especially if you're wanting to get into YouTube, it's a foregone conclusion. You got to have access to the internet. And then you should have some kind of computer, whether it be a PC or a Mac. I currently have a Mac. I'm a pro Apple guy. I am very pro Apple. I have Mac. I have everything Apple. But really, and then you really just need this. I mean, there's other things you can get, like this is a little tripod I bought like last summer to help with my content, and I have my DSLR along with a tripod, and I'm going to be getting some lighting here soon that I won. And honestly, when it comes down to it, the tech that works best for you and what you're desirous in accomplishing, it comes down to this: how motivated are you? What are you willing to do to get that content out? Tech is great, and it can help you in so many different ways, especially when it comes to like YouTube and online creation. But really, what are you willing to sacrifice? Like, what are you willing to do to get to where some of these other bigger YouTubers are? You think about YouTubers like Peter McKinnon, you think about Mr. Beast, so many bigger YouTubers and all the sacrifice that they've made, whether it be time, money, they've gone through so much tech. I mean, it's not an easy field. I'm going to be honest with you. It's not an easy field, but really it's so much fun in my opinion, because not only do you get to show what you're passionate about, but you get to help inspire others to become passionate about what they are interested in. I just talked with someone I care about that's a family member who said that they were going to be getting into YouTube, and I was excited that they finally took my advice on this. And this is the wave of the future. Online creation, online content creation is definitely the wave of the future. I've definitely seen how it can really be a benefit to others. We have COVID that are still going on. We have the Omicron variant that is currently on the rise. I don't know where it is, how it is in other states and countries, but I know here in Utah, we are seeing at least a daily reporting of at least 6K new cases and at least between 12 and 18 deaths. And the thing about COVID is that it's just another variant is just going to keep popping up. And it's really kind of made people examine like what they wanted to do with their lives. We're in the midst of great resignation. And I'm sure that you've heard of that, about that. But if you haven't, The great resignation is that a lot of people who were working from home when COVID first hit, well, their employers have said, well, we want you to come back to the office. And they liked having the freedom of being able to work on their own, go work at a coffee shop, or just being able to just go from one room to the other. And so they decided to leave their jobs and go off on their own. And so, and a lot of them have come to YouTube. And so that's why I'm talking about what tech works best for you. And honestly, when it comes down to it, it comes down to your personal preference. But I also wanted to bring up something, and hopefully those who are watching or on the who are watching on the live stream, I've actually been working on a short film. Um, for those who are not aware, I lost my dog. He died last fall in September, and it affected me greatly because I had him since 2012, and I know of several other people who have lost dogs who've it's really just affected them because they're integral parts of your lives. And so what I wanted to do was show you a clip, the first 5 minutes of the short film that I'm working on right now. So here in the next few minutes, I will show that to you. But honestly, when it comes down to tech, I wanted to know your feedback. What you can comment in the down below or comment right now, and you can just really kind of give your input on what tech works for you on with online video creation. I know that for me, this thing has been a major saving grace for me because I always have it. I am always on it. So why not utilize it for my rising business that I'm working on? Why not utilize it to help bring a little bit of hope and happiness to other people's lives? I remember when I first started, I was using my DSLR, and honestly, I've gone back and I've looked at that first video, and it was bad, but we all got to start messy. I was just part of a 1K challenge that was brought to by Think Media, and it was on Facebook. And one of the CFO, Heather Torres, she talked about in one of the sessions that you have to start messy. Just start messy. And honestly, you'd be surprised with how successful that can be. I remember when I first started, my audio was bad. I was very far away from the camera. I had no idea what I was doing, and I had no idea how to edit or anything to do with that. And I remember, because there's a kind of like a slogan that one of my YouTube mentors, Sean Cannell, who's the owner of Think Media, he has said repeatedly, and that is 1% better with every video. And so really what it comes down to that I've noticed is that you got to keep pressing record. You got to improve that 1%. And tech is an essential part of that. I've seen so many people that they want to get into YouTube. They're like, oh, that'd be so much fun to get into YouTube, but I got to get a new camera. A lot of people use GoPros, they use gimbals, they use all sorts of things. You don't need that starting out. You literally just need a smartphone and a computer. And honestly, that's where most content creators start. You think back to I made this comment last time I went live, and that was that every YouTuber has started out with zero. You think about Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast's YouTube channel didn't take off for 7 years. And I was in a clubhouse room once with one of my friends, Professor Nez, and he talked about how if he watched an interview that Mr. Beast did with a channel or a news station, something like that. And they asked him, well, what would happen if you lost your channel? He said, I'd just start all over again. Guaranteed I'd be able to get it back up to where it was because I know how it works. And that's really what it comes down to, is that, you figure out the algorithm. The algorithm is your friend. And it's just really interesting. But let me see if I can share my screen. so that people can see this clip. Give me one sec. Sorry, having some technical difficulties. We'll have to come back to that. But really, what it comes down to that I've noticed when it comes to getting the best tech for the best bargain for your tech is really, there's so many different ways you can get that. I have but also keep in mind when it comes to buying tech, you don't have to buy everything right at once. Before I got this MacBook that I'm currently on, I was using a mid 2015 MacBook. Thing had so many problems, it was unreal. I've seen so many people who've used computers and other tech that were way out of date. There, I was that one cake challenge that I was a part of. There was someone that had said, like, I would love to create content with my smartphone, but I have an iPhone 7 Plus, and so it probably won't work. And I commented on their post and said that works. Like, just start recording. iPhone 7 Plus works. And so even if you have like an old, like even like an iPhone 6, it still works. If you want to create content, if you want to create online content, it works. And, I've talked with people who've wanted to start like gaming channels or things to do with that. And they're like, well, I feel like there's a lot of people that have already started in the gaming channel niche. And so I probably wouldn't be able to amount to them. Start one. Like, I'm not gonna lie. You just have to start one and just give it a try. But honestly, what tech works best for me is my smartphone, my computer, my tripod that I bought for my smartphone, the lighting that I'm excited to get, but also my DSLR. But really, when it comes down to recording, this is the main thing I use to record. Now, there's better cameras out there. You have Canon, Sony, Nikon, you have Pentax. There's so many good cameras out there that may be more beneficial to you. But I know that for me right now, my iPhone is the best one for me. And I plan to eventually get, an upgraded DSLR, maybe even this Sony ZV-1. But really, when it comes down to it, just hit record. And there's so much about tech that I would love to cover, but there's at the same time, some people may not find that interesting. I'm a big techie. I love tech. Ever since I was a kid, I've always loved tech. But on that note, I'm going to try to work this out to get this a little sneak peek of this video going for you guys. Bear with me for a moment. Okay, so unfortunately, it's probably not going to work. My computer's giving me some grief. It should be out later this week. It's going to be a short film called "The Life of a Dog," and I'm really excited about this. I've had a lot of people contribute clips to this. It's just like a whole film dedicated to how dogs impact and influence our lives. I've spent weeks on this, and I'm so excited to share it with everybody just because I cannot even begin to express how much of a blessing my dog was and how the other dogs in my families have had and other dogs I've known have been a blessing in my life and the lives of those that I care about. And it's really interesting as I've really started to get into this, making this film, how special it has become to me. I've spent countless hours. I've talked about it with one of my friends who helped come up with the narration for it, and it's just. I hope that when you see this short film, that you will be able to really kind of encompass how special dogs are and how they have influenced my life and those who are around me for the greater. I've even as I was making the video, as I was putting all the clips together, it just brought back so many memories and so many smiles, um, that I can't even describe the feelings. It almost made it feel like I was going to walk outside and those dogs were going to be there. But at the same time, it also helped bring back to life, like I said, those memories that I created with them. And you'll come to see that if you haven't already with dogs, that dogs make huge impact in our lives, at least for me. And of course, we have a bot. So I'm going to get rid of this bot real quick. And so it's interesting when I come to find that I was actually talking about this with my mom the other day, how I've really been interested in making videos since I was in high school. I wanted to make a big slideshow of photos and pictures, adding music to it. And I just really never had the chance to get all the photos and pictures and video that I needed. So it just never happened. And I was really disappointed in it. But I've been making this kind of stuff since I was in like high school, as I mentioned, I've really just been interested in making videos and having fun with cameras. And so what better entity, but what better outlet, I should say, than YouTube? Why not? So that's the question I would say to you is why not try YouTube? It's so much fun. It really is. It can be time consuming, the editing, the recording, the editing, and putting it all together. That can be very time consuming. But why not try? Why not? I know that some people may say like, "Oh, you want to do YouTube? You want a free paycheck? You want well, not a free paycheck, an easy paycheck." YouTube isn't easy. I've come to find that out. I've been doing this for over a year now. And, there are some times when your videos don't get many views, and there's sometimes when they take off and you get really excited. But then there's times when people ask you, like, are you going to keep pursuing this? And you're like, yeah. But there's also those times when you just want to give up on YouTube. And I've had those. Some of my close friends can vouch for this, that I've come close to selling my camera and all my equipment just because I thought that my experience would be better, well suited somewhere else in another industry. But those same friends were the ones that talked me out of it. They said, if you were one of them, I distinctly remember said, if you were to sell your camera, you would immediately regret it. And he was right. He was completely and utterly right, because this is what I live for. I love being able to bring things to life. And this video that I'm working on right now, called The Life of a Dog, the short film, it will bring so much joy and happiness to people. It's going to have clips from people who lost. It's going to have clips of dogs that people have lost, that I've lost. And really, it's just going to be something that's very special. And you'll be able to encompass and understand that once you see it. And I wish I could share it with you, but something's going on with my computer today. But really, I just wanted to get your input on what future videos you guys wanted to see from me, whether it be tech review, whether it be tutorials, more short films. 'Cause this short film is coming out this week. Or if you wanted to see more live streams, I'm planning on doing live streams at least once a week now and having more and more guests. I actually was approached by someone this morning asking if they could be a guest on one of my live streams sometime. And I've talked with other people who I've been on their live streams. So I really just wanted to get your input on what you want to see from this channel and what you want to see from me in the future, because this is something that's important to me, because you, as my viewers, I want to bring you the content that you are seeking after. Whether it be how to edit photos, or how to, what tech is best for a new and upcoming photographer, or whatever the case may be. Make sure you comment below and tell me what you really want to see from this channel going forward. And this year, you're going to be seeing so many upgrades, so many uploads. That's what I was trying to say. Uploads, not updates. Uploads from this channel. I went through a lot of hardships last year with family health issues and with everything else. But this year, you're going to be seeing at least 1 or 2 videos a week, plus a live stream once a week. So make sure that if you are not subscribed, that you subscribe. You hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell. It's because I'm going to be talking about a lot of great things. I'm going to be doing premieres with you guys. I'm actually thinking about doing a premiere with this short film that's coming out this week, because this is something, like I said, like about 10 minutes ago, I've spent over 2 weeks on this film, and it's been in the planning process for like over 2 months. So this is something that I am really excited to present to you guys. But with that being said, I'm going to sign off because I got some stuff I got to take care of before the next work week starts. So have a good night, and make sure that you comment below on what things you want to see from this channel going forward. Thanks, guys. Have a great night.